Collectathon games in the late 90s and early 2000s ooze with style and charm. The characters are fun, the ambiguous lo-fi environments make you really just imagine what's out there, and also they just have really fun movement mechanics that are diverse and enjoyable. So I'm going to take that lovely style and mix it with a parkour system similar to Mirror's Edge, but with a more unrealistic flair to it. I want a skilled player to be able to bounce off the walls like a fucking pinball. But I also want the game to be easy enough to enjoy on a controller, like it was your first platformer. If that sounds interesting to you, then stick around and I'll show you how it came to be. So, the date was 2/26. Whatever month that is, I really don't know. Exposing myself as a month moron right here and right now. Yeah, it was that specified point in time where I decided I should make a game. My first commercial game, to be specific. So I needed an idea. I had a couple cool ones. They were mostly unhinged though, like Moto Fisherman LSD. I'm not gonna explain that one, I'll let you think about it. And the other ideas were things that I just couldn't get done in a reasonable amount of time. Eventually, I remembered an awesome little game called Super Kiwi 64. It's a short platformer that has the charm of the classics, and it's like $3. It's a game. It's a game. It's a banger. It is a game. Anyway, I realized that this was not only... I realized that this is... I realized I should make the game in that style, okay? That's what I realized, because I could get it done. So I duped my project, I renamed it KOUR 64, and I started deleting shit. And then I went to bed eager to start work the next day. But like every time else I make plans for life, the universe says, nah, bro. And yeah, I woke up at like 2 in the morning. Felt like I had been kicked in the stomach, and I spent the first 10 hours of the day just, you know, the work I got done was most of like the gameplay basics for a collectathon. You know, I got the coins, the rings, or like the red coins from Super Mario 64. I got the stars. I got like a door that opens if you have enough stars. I got a little simple enemy guy. I got these snowman looking motherfuckers who spout gibberish. You know, I had some other small things here. Like this little CCTV star, where basically you just have like a screen show you where one of these stars is on the map. And then this kick bridge thing where you slide into it and it makes a bridge. Yeah. So by the end of the first day, I had the basic collectathon game loop for a single test level. I could run around and collect things, and when I collected enough, I could open a door and leave. I was pretty happy with this progress overall. I really didn't think I could get this much done in a day, so that kind of progress was very motivating. So I'm just gonna mash the next 4 work days together. After getting the basic game mechanics in, I decided to spend the next few days refining the player movement, adding some extra fun ways to get collectibles, and adding saving or persistence to the game. So like, if you collect a star, leave the level and come back, that star is not gonna be spawned there anymore. So let's read the refrigerator list of shit I got here. We got, let's start with the fun things I added. We got gravity zones. Pretty self-explanatory. You go in there and your gravity changes, so you can jump high or not high, whatever I feel like making you do. Okay, the next thing we got is launch pad. I'm not going to explain this. I'm sure you all know what a launch pad is. A temporary speed boost, same category as the launch pads. You all know what a speed boost is. I made it so the NPCs make gibberish noises. I added the spinning enemy. I mean, it's just a cylinder with some sticks on it. It's got one hitbox. You got to hit this little green button on it to deactivate it, and if you hit by the red ones, they'll deactivate you. I figured it'd be fun to add like a little golf star. So I had like a ball in a hole. Pretty simple. You push the ball in the hole, you get a star. Falling platforms, you understand that much. I mean, that's like a full sentence on its own. Falling platforms. Can somebody who knows English well verify that's like a complete sentence? Anyway, next one, we got Arena Ball Survival. This was inspired by a game I used to play on the trampoline with siblings and friends. We put a bunch of various sized balls on the trampoline and we jump on it and try not to touch them. So that's what this is. You got to avoid the balls or else they'll kill you, and you got to survive for a certain amount of time to get the star. I also added this enemy that's basically like a Goomba, but basically a whole lot of basically, so I'm basically a white girl. I added a Goomba enemy that you jump on his head. It's like a Goomba. Okay? I don't know why it's so hard for me to explain things. I improved the NPCs so they have more lines of dialogue now, or like the option to have more lines of dialogue. I added these stars to the game that you get by trading coins for. I made this conveyor belt and then I duplicated it and tried to make like a mini game out of it, where when you get on the conveyor belt you can no longer move and you can only jump one time, and there would be like a star somewhere along the conveyor belt and you have to time the jump to get it. But for whatever reason the conveyor belt kept like riding off into the sunset, so I just let it go. The next thing I added was a chase mini game. Basically, as soon as you enter this zone, you have to stay within it and follow the zone all the way to the end, and if you do, you get a reward. Right now it's in the very basic state. It needs some better visuals so you know when you're in the circle. A better route for sure. The one I made is not very fun, but I like the idea of it and I think it's fun, so it'll be cool once I have an actual level to put it in. I originally wanted the coins in my game to be like orbs and Jack and Daxter, but this is just not easy to program with my level of programming knowledge, and it just doesn't really go with the game very well. So instead I'm gonna go with the Super Kiwi 64 style, where you collect all the coins and you get a star for it. So with that same method in mind, I'm getting rid of the coin doors, and also I'm making it so you can't buy the stars with coins. I added a new vendor coin that you use to buy stuff from the vendors now. They are much less common, so they have more value, and it won't be like you have to go, collect 100 of them to buy something. You'll just collect a few and then you'll get a star or whatever else they put at the vendors. So yeah, I think that works a lot better. I also added UI for the coins now, so it shows the total count on each level you're on. I did the same with the rings. Whenever you collect the ring, it'll say how many are left on the level. Added this nice little letterbox effect whenever you respawn. It just helps make it less jarring. Usually just, you teleport over to the spawn, so usually you're just like there and it's like, oh, what happened? And then I added this little visual speed line effects for the sprint, or the speed boost. I added a wall climb cancel jump. So whenever you cancel while doing a wall climb, you basically have no gravity or extremely low gravity, and you can't move anymore aside from jumping. So it basically just gives you like an extra period of time to like turn and jump where you want to jump after you cancel your wall climb. I also added a crouch high jump, kind of like in Jack and Daxter or Hot Lava Sludge. I just like the crouch high jump. Made the wall jump faster. It just goes better with the wall climb cancel jump thing, because that's like a good way to get height and like not very good distance, but then you use the wall run jump to get good distance. So like it's kind of each has their own like little movement niche. Just makes the movement more fun. Quality of life stuff, I fixed the bug that teleports you back to spawn. I added a coyote jump, or a coyote timer to the jump, so like if you walk off a ledge you have like a quarter of a second to still jump. Usually you just walk off the ledge and you can't jump no more, and then you get annoyed. I added iframes, so like after you get hit you get invincibility for a little bit, just to make it so you don't get like triple slapped and insta-doinked or whatever. I tweaked the movement values a little bit, just a couple things here and there, like the gravity and the air acceleration and the air control or whatever, stuff like that. Just a lot of small stuff. The jump and the movement, speed, just all small tweaks just to make it feel better. And then I moved the slide and crouch button to shift instead of control, and moving that button to shift is better because you press it a lot. As for things that didn't go very well, added a wall kick. Why is that in the troubles and failure? This went well. I added wall kick visual effects, so whenever you do the wall pause kick thing, you get some visual effects so you know you're doing it more. I don't know, it's better feedback, that's what I'm trying to say. So that, I don't know why that's in the troubles and failure section of this notes, but I added hold wall climb, so like you only wall climb when you're holding the button. I thought this would be good, but it just wasn't. It felt like doo-doo, so that got removed. I tried creating some new animations for like the HUD, like the character, like his hands and stuff. I try to make it so like when you wall climb, he's like, well, I did make the animations, he's wall climbing, his hands are like alternating going off the wall. but I couldn't get it to work in the game properly. Like every time I got it to work, the other animations would break. And I say animations loosely because basically my game is like set up in a way where like when you're on the ground, it has one picture displayed. If you're crouched, it displays another picture. I like the way it looks, so I'm gonna keep it. I'm just gonna like update the pictures and make the certain parts of it better. Like I'm going to try to do the wall run animation because that helps make the wall run feel a lot more, it just helps you know when you're doing it. It's kind of hard to see when you're moving on the wall sometimes, so I needed to get that in there. But that was a failure. Spent a lot of time on that. So to sum up this next day, I did a bunch of like updating of the menus, deleted a bunch of stuff on the first day, like all the stuff that wasn't useful. A lot of the menus were included in that, a lot of the levels were included in that, and all the menus still in the game are like referencing those things. So I had to go through and update all that. And I made this simple little 3D menu here and these icons for the pause and the main menu. That's really it for the menus though. Other than that, I added a fake shadow, so like it's always below you. You always know where you're landing. It's just a good thing for platformer game feel. I updated the NPC codes so they can now change dialogue when a trigger gets activated. This will be good for like the tutorial where, you know, like you do the tutorial stuff, the NPC is like, ah, good job. You did the thing I told you to do, you fucking idiot. I got controller support functional. Still doesn't work on the menus. You can play the game completely, so that's nice. And it feels pretty nice on controller too, I'm surprised. I thought it'd be kind of garbage, like a first-person parkour game on a controller, but it's pretty good. I added an N64 resolution option, so 640 by 480. That's like the highest the N64 does apparently. I added some CRT effects and some other effects. You know, I wanted to keep it light and like I'm gonna have an option to turn it off and on. But I also would just kind of want to have like that look, you know, that old garbage, but like good garbage look. The N64 option just completely blasts the menus. Like they are not ready for it. So the next day, for whatever reason, I decided to try and package the game. You know, I waited a while and then I got hit with the failed package error. So I opened up the logs and saw that I had like 100, like literally 100 yellow warning messages and 13 errors. And so the warning messages are not that much of a problem. They can cause issues, but they're not like game breaking. And then the errors are like serious issue. Like you need to fix those. So that's what I did. I got Googling. I got looking through threads, reading other people's problems, and I learned that most of the warnings were from the things I deleted improperly on the first day. So I had to go through and fix all the folders for those, find like the file directories on my PC and delete extra stuff in those folders to get them out of my project. It took a while to fix that all, but I was pretty happy when I fixed all the errors and I tried packaging the game again. I go to open the game and it just says fatal error, which with no explanation, and that's almost worse. Confused, I try it again in like a different build configuration because there's like shipping packaging builds, there's dev packaging builds, stuff like that. So that's what I did, and this time I got a different error. It said like rocket sing blah, 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 array 0 out of 0, and I found a thread like immediately with like the same exact error message but it had like a different array number. He said like his error was something to do with like his trees being way out of the map, but I went through, like checked all that. It was all there, it was all just fine. I tried all the solutions in the thread and I couldn't get anything to work, so I started to stress a bit. Did I just waste a whole week of work? Because I've been working hard. This is a lot of work for me. And the only thing left that I didn't really try was migrating my project to a completely new project, like transferring everything over manually. And I'd never done this, so that was very stressful to even think of doing that. But then just randomly, I had the idea. I have a loading screen plugin that I use for this project, and I deleted the movie that was used at the startup of the project. So maybe if I get rid of that plugin, it'll fix the problem. I don't know why I thought this, but I did. And then I disabled the plugin and that was the problem. It was fixed right after that. Yeah, I was really happy because an issue like that is scary. You know, I have no idea how to fix it. I'm just like Googling and gobbling around. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I just like imagined like the route where I didn't try packaging the game up until the very end, and it would have just been super stressful. So at this point, I had like the foundation of my game. I wanted to start working on the tutorial. I wanted to work on that, but I also wanted to have like some sort of intro cutscene and plot elements, like a reason for the character to be where they are. So I started brainstorming. picture this: the game opens up after you hit play, right? And you see some dude sleeping in his bed, and then the camera slowly pans back, and you see the same guy watching himself in bed because he's dreaming. You know, he's out of his body, and he's doing one of those things. He goes off screen, and then you hear like some footsteps, and then the door closing, and then bam, you're outside starting the game. But yeah, that's all for this devlog. If you have any ideas or suggestions, let me know. Write a comment. These take a lot of time and effort to produce. I'm not like a natural presenter by any means. It took me 3 hours just to record the voiceover, and I'd rather spend that time on the game. But at the same time, I know that you have to market the game or else nobody plays it. So